Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Well, Independent MP John Tucker has threatened to send Tasmanians to an early election, accusing the government of riding roughshod over members of Parliament. The rogue ex-Liberal slamming the government for not respecting Parliament's opinions on the AFL High Performance Training Centre or animal welfare.
A rogue former Liberal taking a stand against his old party. John Tucker telling Premier Jeremy Rockliff he's on notice.
If he is not going to listen to the decisions of this Parliament and treat the Parliament with contempt, I will be pulling my supply and confidence from this government.
His first issue, he claims abattoirs haven't had animal welfare inspections by state authorities for more than 15 years. Accusations the government rejects. He's calling for the immediate introduction of 24/7 video monitoring after a horrifying vision was released of alleged cruelty.
Because my understanding, there hasn't been any animal welfare auditing within these abattoirs. That is something that the Minister needs to answer.
A government spokesperson rejected the allegations, saying focused animal welfare inspections of Tasmanian processing facilities occurred just last month. The government also says it's already working with Parliament on the issue.
We've already had the discussion around this in Parliament in December, and our government is absolutely committed to doing what it takes to make sure that our abattoirs are safe and that they're humane.
The second issue, the Maverick MP is calling the announcement of an AFL training centre an attempt to preempt a decision on the stadium.
To put a training centre and spend $70 million on a training centre when we haven't even got approval to build a stadium is putting the cart before the horse.
But it seems the horse is already bolted. The Lions MP effectively voted in favour of the training centre by supporting the budget. It's 7 months since John Tucker and Lara Alexander sensationally left for the crossbench, plunging the government into minority.
This is more from 2023. We're only a few days into 2024 and we're just seeing more of the same of the instability.
Tasmania's peak business body, not mincing its words.
It's frustrating again that we have someone here who at any opportunity seems to throw his toys out of the cot.
Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
The Bass Highway at Latrobe has been closed for most of the day after a truck carrying chemicals rolled, spilling its contents. Traffic was diverted and a section of the road remains shut tonight as authorities continue to deal with the incident.
It was just after 4 a.m. that the truck carrying its dangerous load rolled near Ampole Wattle Hill at Latrobe, spilling its contents. The impact rupturing 18 1,000-litre containers of the chemical product ferric acid. Police sealing off the area, allowing those experienced in handling spills to deal with the incident.
We've currently got personnel in splash sheets, and that's for their own personal protection as they're getting closer to the acid and working in around that. It is a strong acid that we need to neutralise and remove from the scene.
While the fire service declared there was no immediate risk of exposure to the general public, those residents living in the area were asked to remain indoors. EPA officers were at the scene to assess the situation, providing technical advice and making arrangements for the acid to be removed. Ferric acid is used to treat sewage and industrial waste and to help purify water.
We've checked all of the information to make sure it is safe for everyone to be on scene.
As to what caused the truck to roll over into a ditch on this stretch of the Bass Highway is yet to be determined by police investigators. While the driver of the truck was taken to hospital for a blood test, he was uninjured and walked from the vehicle. Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmania News.
State Labor and the Chamber of Commerce are accusing the government of pulling the plug when it comes to producing more green energy. They're calling for more renewable projects to be given the green light, something the government says it's already doing.
It's a power play of Tasmanian proportions. According to Labor, we're maxing out our own energy grid.
This is a crisis because it means our economy's not growing. Our entire economy, in my view, hinges on our ability to get more generation into the grid.
The Shadow Energy Minister using the proposed Whaleback Ridge project on the West Coast as an example, saying that project alone has the ability to almost double Tasmania's energy production. While that's yet to get off the ground, the state government says there's plenty of other renewable energy projects underway.
I mean, we've only just recently seen a major, more than 200 megawatt solar farm being announced in Tasmania, major new battery storage. We're continuing to commit to huge hydro upgrades as part of the Battery of the Nation at Tarraleah. And those kind of investments are going to be critical to make sure that we can continue to grow our economy.
But developers are still finding it hard to access the Apple Isle. The Chamber of Commerce and Industry calling our jurisdiction the toughest to break into in the world.
About $10 billion worth of developments waiting to go in Tasmania that are held up in various levels of planning.
The group calling on the state government to address our planning system quickly.
What's frustrating is how long it takes to actually play out. If the project isn't going to happen, the developers should be told early and quickly so that they can get on with something else.
All demand, not enough supply. Madeline Kerr, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, Tasmania's fire and emergency service infrastructure is set for a major funding boost. $10 million will be invested and includes $2 million to upgrade the SES vehicle fleet. The SES unveiling a prototype of a new vehicle at its Devonport headquarters.
As a volunteer of the State Emergency Service of Tasmania, we've been advocating for some funding for a number of years to assist with our vehicle replacement program. So today's announcement is very much welcomed.
14 new vehicles are expected to be rolled out in the north and northwest over the next 18 months. They'll replace some that are more than 30 years old. The other $8 million will be spent on equipment and upgrading buildings. It's usually done and dusted by now, but the taste of summer isn't over just yet. For the first time, it's opening for an additional 3 days. Today's crowd's a mixture of tourists and locals eager to sample the best Tasmania has to offer.
So people who are here for New Year's and Christmas have all left, and we've got a whole new crew that have flown in. We've got people coming back from their shacks and people are back at work, so we're really hoping to attract a whole new crowd.
Around 60,000 people have poured into Princess Wharf No. 1 during the 10-day event. Gates open from midday tomorrow. A group of young men is on a journey with a special purpose, crossing Bass Strait in a kayak. The mates from Sydney are undertaking the dangerous voyage to raise funds for the Black Dog Institute after losing their mate Dan to suicide in 2020.
Losing him was such a shock to us, and I know the local community as well. And so from that, we really wanted to do something just to make a big event of it and do something in memory of him.
They're hoping to raise $32,000. That's $100 for every kilometre they cover during the journey, which is expected to take a week. There's plenty of free school holiday fun at the Domain this weekend as the Hobart International Tennis Tournament gets set to return for another year. The young and young at heart can have a hit with some of the players, get their picture taken and grab a signature.
We're looking forward to seeing as many people as possible to come and get a taste of the tennis free of charge.
So this is for young and old, but certainly the younger children can play on the court and practice with some of the best players in the world.
All the fun gets underway from 10 a.m. on Saturday.
Good evening. Low cloud persisted over southern and eastern districts today, with some light shower activity about coastal areas. Hobart 18, Launceston 25, Devonport 24, Burnie 22 degrees. Around the state, Luncheon Hill and Low Head both 25, Friendly Beaches 24, Flinders Island, Bushy Park and Strawnall 23, King Island 22, Grove and St Helens 21, Marai Island 19, 17 the top for Laiweni. Patchy low cloud was seen about parts of the state, mostly over higher ground of the northwest, southeast and eastern coastal districts. Thunderstorms continue over large parts of the country, with areas of low-level cloud over the southern coastline and southern parts of WA. Tomorrow, an unusually large high-pressure system, as you can see here, is sitting over the state, which will most likely deliver stable conditions. Southwest to southeasterly winds 10 to 20 knots. Swells in the west and south likely to build up to 2.5 metres. Tomorrow's forecast now: Hobart mostly sunny 22, sunny also in Huonville 25. Campaigner can also expect sunshine, 24 is the top. Cloud likely to cover the north tomorrow, although Launceston remaining warm with 27, Devonport 22, Georgetown 24. Partly cloudy in Burnie 20, mostly sunny skies in Strawn 22, 22 also for Wynyard with a little cloud. Cloud extending to the east 22 for both St Helens and Swansea, 23 the top for Port Arthur with a cloud likely to clear. Looking now to the 3-day forecast, fine conditions expected across the state on Saturday for the last day of the taste of summer. Sunday, warm to hot. Initially cloud increasing with showers developing about the northeast. Back to work for many of us on Monday. Rain and possible thunderstorms will contract to the east later in the day. Further north now, 27 and partly cloudy in Melbourne. Cloudy also in Canberra 23. Sunny in Perth, Adelaide, Cairns and Broome. And currently in Hobart it's 16 degrees, Launceston 22, Devonport 19. Welcome back, Kim.
Thank you, Kaya. And that is all your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for your company, everyone. Good night.